Welcome to Seven Dooms for Sandpoint, Chapter 4, Footprints on the Roof. Episode 36. Velynia. I'm going to have you, because as a new subscription comes in, see, you reminded me in the chat during the credits, don't forget about the domain dice. I said that I had forgotten, but thank you for reminding me. And then within 30 seconds forgot them again until this new one came up. So
I was the subscription reminder. It was me.
As Kaeryn, Baron, and Cari have all subscribed, earning new domain dice. I was going to have you, Cari, fill the silence, or not fill the silence, but while I do this, set the scene. But instead, I decided, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and call attention to what's happening here while I do it, because we talk openly about our production here.
Yeah. There is no behind the curtain here at MTD.
What curtain? What curtain? No. We do everything in the open.
Full transparency.
We don't even have frosted glass on our shower window in the bathroom.
Okay. Well, all right.
Too far?
Yeah.
all we can say is it's mini terrain domain.
Wait a minute.
Holy shit.
Wow. I'll remember that the next time you roll initiative.
God damn you.
Well struck, sir. Well struck. Okay. This whole thing is very contrary to the tone I was trying to set.
It's very. I'm ready. Dark, broody. Sorry, I'm getting dark and broody.
I don't know why that just got me.
You broke Jacob.
Dark, broody.
That needs to be the next shirt. Hey, while Jake pulls himself together, why don't you check us out on redbubble.com. At redbubble.com, we got all kinds of great logos like the one I'm wearing and so many other ones. You can get logos for your fantasy games or our Kids on Bikes game. You can get our logos on t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, mugs, stickers, postcards, pillows, and all kinds of other great stuff. There's almost always a deal at redbubble.com, especially if it's your first time shopping. So check us out today at redbubble.com. Just search mini terrain domain.
Wow. Oh, I immediately wrote that down as set the tone. Dark, broody. And composure. Velynia. Mm-hmm. It is sometime later that night, after the events at the White Deer. The events that led to 6 cultists, 7 actually, counting Kellum Varm and what he turned into, being slain brutally. Their blood spilling across the floorboards that perhaps even now Millie and Kaeryn are scrubbing at back at the White Deer. But it's sometime later, and you are meeting up with somebody. Where? In town or outside of town? Where would you meet that you would know that this neophyte that you made contact with actually earlier that same day? Where would you meet that you would know that she would show up?
Honestly, like the kind of scrubby part of town, is it Junk Beach? Is that like the actual name of the place?
So Junk Beach is near the White Deer. It's also where near the old light. It's where Icselo found Lyra when she had kind of was run off trying to fulfill his scavenger hunt. Mm-hmm. Sometimes frequented by well, I wouldn't say frequented, but sometimes visited by goblins in search of treasure. Not necessarily the seediest part of town. It's definitely remote.
Are you thinking, is there a place that's seedier? If so, where?
So, I'm trying to see where this... There's another bar that is suddenly escaping me what it's called. Another tavern.
Isn't it like a gross ass...
Well, there's the Hagfish is what I'm thinking
The Hagfish, that's what it is, yes.
And the Hagfish is...
It's like a hole in the wall, right?
Yeah, and it's there it is. The Hagfish is... So all, down at the docks,
Great.
at the southwesternmost part of the docks, that's probably a place where some of the people you work with would go.
Amazing.
If you're looking for a place where other people are, generally speaking, the whole dock district, down in the southeast, a lot of that is not a well-traveled part of town, other than by dock workers and other laborers.
Okay. Honestly, I would probably I'd go to the Hagfish.
Okay.
I think to meet her.
So you walk into the Hagfish. Where did it go? Here. It's number 33 on your Sandpoint map, by the way.
Thank you.
The Hagfish is a like I said, it's kind of like for the dock district. It's sort of a local haunt for a lot of people. So it's one of those places where if you want to be invisible in a crowd, it's the perfect place. It's the kind of place that has a boisterous crowd of people that are drinking loudly, telling tales, outdoing one another. The kind of place where when you walk in, you're just as likely to see somebody playing mumbly peg, tossing daggers at one another's feet, as you are to see a card game where when a person's partner doesn't play the right card, the other person reaches across the table and decks them, and then the game continues on. Yeah, I mean, I was alluding to euchre or spades.
Yeah, euchre, got it. No, I've been there. Been there, buddy.
But yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And it's the kind of place, like I said, that there's enough chaos here and drinking and games and such that nobody's really paying attention to who anybody else is, and you can disappear very quietly or very easily into the crowd. When you walk in, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay, I will. Here I go. Perception is a 24. It's a little bit better than the last time I had to percept this little shit.
You see sort of in a corner, probably chosen for just the simple fact of being able to place her back against two walls and watch everybody. You see Shadow Tel Corvo sitting at a table. The only reason she doesn't stand out is because she is mostly obscured. Her small form, very diminutive compared to the generally, not entirely, but generally muscular or at least lithe people around her. And she has a bowl of what looks like some kind of chowder Here at the Hagfish, it's probably Yargi's crab and clam chowder.
That actually sounds delicious.
She seems to be looking at it questioningly. And she has a large pewter mug that's sitting next to her as well. And she also kind of holds that up. And she, the fact that she's surrounded by so many people who aren't looking at her is the only reason she's not sticking out like a sore thumb in this place.
Right. Okay.
And you are suddenly very much aware that she is indeed a neophyte in your the organization of which you understand the hierarchy. What would you like to do?
Amazing. I kind of like Velynia gets this like smirk on her face a little bit, seeing her stick out after that big whole grand show, like her giving me shit earlier. And so I think I would. You said this place is by the docks, right?
Yeah, it's literally on the docks.
So I imagine this would not be my first time in here, and like I signal like somebody, like a server or the bartender or somebody who I know, to send 2 drinks over, and I point at the table, and then I go and I sit with this kid.
I would imagine you probably know Yargi. Yargi Quinn, the human tavern keeper.
Yes.
He is one-eyed, though he refuses to wear a patch because he doesn't want to look like no damned pirate.
Cool.
He's quick to laugh, quick with a smile, and has every look and demeanor of the sea about him. Though, truth be told, it's the rumor is that he's so afraid of drowning that he has never been on a boat in his life.
Bubba's.
But he has something called Yargi's Reserve, which is a shot from his special collection of Shackles rum. That is something that's not on the menu, and you can only get if you already know Yargi.
Yeah, so in my little multitude of hand signals, I signal him and I like say 2, and then I like kind of wink at him, and then I point over at that table, and then I go over and I sit down.
She does not seem to be at all surprised to see you. In fact, she looks relieved. I know we hadn't actually agreed on any set time to meet or anything, but honestly, I thought you'd have been here a long time ago.
Well, I got a little busy in the afternoon. Remind me to tell you about it later. Very active day. You know, the chowder is quite good here, if you can get past the smell, I suppose.
Well, I heard rumor that there was something called the Hag's Challenge. And I was worried that it had to do with this. And she kind of picks up the spoon and tilts it, and it's like a very thick chowder, and you just see that sort of plop, plop. And then she kind of glances at you with this look, and with still carrying that 24 perception, you see she suddenly realizes you're watching her, and she's kind of making a big deal about not wanting to try this, and in an effort to save face, she just kind of, whatever, it's food's just for sustenance, and she takes a very big scoop, shoves it into her mouth, and
And for the record, Velynia wasn't lying. Like, this is legit decent chowder, but it's kind of like, you know, don't judge a book by its cover kind of thing.
So you, being a frequenter here, you've actually heard of Hag's Challenge. It doesn't even have to do with the food. The Hag's Challenge is to order the Old Murder Maw Stout and Yargi puts a splash of hagfish slime in it.
Ugh. Yeah, I have never attempted the challenge. Velynia is a risk taker, but even that is too big a risk for her.
Shada is now very eagerly eating the stew, and you get the sense that, well, not even the sense. It's a familiar sight for a neophyte to see them attacking a meal with
Quickly.
Yeah, with the fear that you never know when your meal is going to be interrupted or taken away from you. So she's now that she's eating, she's doing that lean forward, one arm sort of almost,
like the
as she's looking up at you.
And Velynia just has this very kind of like relaxed posture, watching her eat, and almost to invite her to chill out a little bit. Velynia like goes so far, I think, as to have like her arm resting on the back of her chair, because you know, like Velynia is trying to tell her without telling her that this is a place where we can kind of blend, and nobody's really watching. So that it's as safe as any place can be in Sandpoint.
I think no role necessary. I think she gets that. She kind of picks up on that, and you do see her she kind of looks up at you and sees your demeanor. She does relax a little bit, but literally moments later, the bowl's empty as she picks it up and drains the last of it, and even kind of licks around the rim before setting it down, and then picking up the mug that she kind of takes a glance at, and then takes a big drink of whatever ale was in the mug.
You know, you are allowed to take more than 5 minutes with your meals out here.
No, I don't know that.
Well, now you do.
Well, I heard what happened with your dinner this evening.
So you did hear.
Of course, it's my job. Keep an eye on you.
Well, if you were watching so closely, then why didn't you help?
I wasn't watching. I heard about it from the town watch. They are very loud and not at all very quiet about the goings-on in their investigations. If you want to find out something about what's happening in this town, pick any law enforcement officer, follow them for 5 minutes, and they will tell you so much more than you could learn sulking about in places like this.
And Velynia, like, thinking about Icselo this whole time, is just like, you don't say? Well, I will have to send that report back to the department and see what they will do with it.
Well, why did you come looking for me? Already? I just made contact with you this morning, and already you're seeking me out. Not enough excitement for today?
I think Velynia, like, when she asks that, you almost see just like a flash of like confusion in Velynia's eyes. Like, it's almost like she doesn't even know. And I think maybe that there is like a nobody understands Velynia and this whole everything, like this kid probably does. And so I think that Velynia kind of squints for a second and is like, I don't really know. Just want to talk, I suppose. Have a drink. Relax. See what's what back at headquarters, as far as you know. And what happened with the schism. All of that. I want to know what you know, I suppose.
What I know is what Ket told me. And that's that you have a watcher keeping an eye on you, and that's what you should be careful about.
Right.
What's happening back at the collective shouldn't concern you at all.
Well... And Velynia kind of like rolls her eyes and she's like, that's all that Ket told you. Did he tell you anything else about me?
He told me that you were... You could be rash. And he told me that you were cocky. He also told me that you were dangerous. In a way that's good for the collective. Do you want me to make up some more compliments from him?
No.
Or is that why you're here? For
No.
me to boost your ego?
No. That's not why I'm here. Did he tell you that I did not leave the collective on the best of terms? Did he tell you that? That's why I'm concerned with what's happening at the collective. And I want to know what size of the side of this schism I fall on. If it's with Ket and you or not.
I'd like you to make a diplomacy check to make an impression.
Okay. Here I go. Ugh. 17.
Pretty good. So, excuse me. She takes a moment as she takes another sip of her ale. And she kind of hides herself behind the mug, just sort of searching your eyes as you ask this, as she thinks for a moment.
And I'm doing the same, I imagine. Obviously, I can't see most of her face, but just all of her body language and her posture. And it's very like, I know that you know that I know that you know that I know kind of moment.
She's very I lost the word I was trying to use, so I guess you see that she's... The fact that this is the second time that she's sort of used food or drink to sort of conceal her face, you realize as a neophyte, she's still learning, and it's kind of a more of an underline, I guess, an underscore, if you will, to the fact that Ket sent a neophyte to aid you in identifying a watcher.
Sure.
As she sets down this mug and says, you're actually a kind of a folk hero among some of the neophytes. The way in which you left. Nobody had ever done that before, and to be honest, nobody's dared since. But there are some at the collective, beyond just the neophytes, who see it as... Well, I don't know that they think that it's good for the collective, but they think that you were right to leave. That it may be what's best for you. But if you've truly left, then why are you still taking orders from Ket Tokolak?
I'm not taking orders from anybody.
Didn't he send you to keep an eye on things here and looking for some artifact?
Wouldn't call them orders so much as suggestions, as guidelines. Pointed me in the right direction.
Semantics.
And I imagine, do our drinks arrive ever in this time
Oh,
span?
yeah. Sorry. Your
No,
drink.
it's cool.
Yeah, you're in. Yargi kind
Yargi
of.
forgot about us. For a second,
Yargi
Izzy.
comes through, pushing past some of the others to get back to your table, and he sets the 2 shots of Yargi's reserve down, and he claps you on the back with a big meaty hand and says, I don't much feel like squeezing back and forth through this crowd tonight. So here, you set up with me later. And he thunks a bottle of rum. It's not a full bottle.
My man.
It's not a full bottle, but it's probably about 3/4 of the way full. Sets it down on the table, and then he kind of looks across at Shada, and he goes, I'm going to need to see some identification. She looks up at him as she's taking this shot, like about to take the drink, and she just kind of... He just goes, claps you on the back again. Right. Could you imagine? I'd lose 1/3 of my customers if I had to ID them.
Thank you, Yagi. I really appreciate it. We will settle up. I'm good for it.
It's right, I know where you live. And he just, continuing to laugh to himself, turns and heads back towards the bar.
As soon as he leaves, I like put my hand like up and I say, I cannot urge you enough. Slowly. And I kind of like am nodding at this shot. And I think Velynia would just shrug and say, I'm half in, half out. I walked away from the collective, yes, but I suppose... I don't know. I still feel like I owe something to Ket. Strange. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain.
I get it. Ket's the one who brought me to the collective, too. It's why I'm here. I think, I mean, not that I had a choice in the matter, but I think it's why he chose me.
And Velynia puts an elbow up and she's like, he does have a knack for choosing people, doesn't he?
It certainly does. Speaking of which, well, not so much of his knack for choosing, it's more a bad segue into your knack for choosing the people you hang out with. And the attention that they seem to draw.
Yes.
I've been here for not even a full day.
Mm-hmm.
And I already know that you and your friends are no friends to the family in town called the Scarnettis.
If I hear that name one more time today, I just may flip a table. Maybe more than one.
Well, whatever you've done, I don't know if it was you or some of your friends, so maybe just what you're doing, but that Kaeryn Scarnetti absolutely hates you. He's literally walking around town trying to smear your name.
Well, perhaps it's because nobody has had the balls to stand up to him until we have. We give as good as we get, and he doesn't like that. It's very typical of men of his status.
Well, he seems kind of impotent to me. He's scraping the bottom of the barrel of people that he can find that'll actually listen to what he has to say. So I don't know how much of a threat he is.
I would say not. Though, it is good to keep an eye on him. He seems to have political power in this town, and you and I both know how damaging that can be
Your
when wielded by the wrong man.
yeah. Your friend, I don't like to try to. I'm not very good at guessing people's ages, but the one that's like a grandma.
She's not that old. Millie.
Yes, the one that's always got flour on her apron.
Yes.
I saw her talking to that new merchant today. The cat man.
She mentioned him. She didn't. Did you mention Tamiko?
Yeah.
Did you tell us he was a cat man specifically, or did you just say he had a lot of personality?
Oh, I don't think I mentioned he was a Catman specifically.
I think you just said he was very
But
flamboyant and had a lot of personality.
I didn't mention it, but it's possible that Lanai did because she's seen him around the market.
Yes. Oh, stop.
Let's just assume we know he's a Catman.
Yes. Okay. Like yes. Millie did mention talking to him today. I haven't had the pleasure. Then again, I haven't been out looking. I've been a little busy.
His shop wasn't open yet, but it seems that it's going to be open tomorrow. I checked him out. I was curious. I've never seen a cat man before. But he seems absolutely delightful.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't trust him.
Said too. You don't trust him. Well, we can keep an eye on him, I suppose, but...
Oh no, I have to watch the cat man?
No, you don't have to watch the Catman. You have to watch my back.
I want to watch the cat man.
What?
That was sarcasm.
You have to keep your mind on what you're doing.
I'm watching everybody that's around you. Have you heard of... She kind of glances around at this one. Have you heard of somebody called Shroud?
Let me consult my brain.
I'm going to say I would like you to roll a society check, and it's going to be a pretty high DC.
Okay. It's a 19.
The name means nothing to you.
I can't say that I have. Is that a person's name or a title or...
I suppose as long as you yourself shouldn't have anything to be concerned with. I would think the only one amongst you that could possibly be in danger of attracting the ire of this Shroud figure would be that guardsman that you travel with. The tall man.
Yes.
As long as he's not got any infidelities in his marriage or is not some sort of misogynist, I don't think you'll have to worry too much, but this Shroud figure seems to be some sort of, like, feminist vigilante. Cool. I mean that in a...
Sorry, that was Cari. Not Velynia. Sorry. It's like, interesting.
I'm still learning information about this one. But it seems that just a few nights ago, there was somebody who she had revealed to this man's wife that he had been sleeping around town, turning a light on his infidelities. She left a mark upon their door, a yellow circle with a yellow Y in it. I'll look more into this. I'd hoped maybe you'd heard something of it.
I have heard nothing of it. Then again, I have been a little busy. Haven't really been looking or listening. Well, yes, keep your ear to the ground, I suppose.
Is that why you're a blade and not a watcher?
Well, I was a watcher when I was your age. When I was too afraid to do the real work. But
what's that supposed to mean?
Changed.
She kind of sits up a little bit. This is real work.
I know it's real work. I know. I did it. I didn't mean it like that. It's just things change and people change and It's one of those things that's hard to explain.
I know that people change. Anyway, it seems like you don't know a whole lot, and I'm still learning who some of these people in town are, and I'm going to find out who's watching you.
I really appreciate it. I do.
Yeah, well, I'm just doing what I was told. She seems very... almost like... she kind of looks around. Make a perception check, I guess.
Ugh. I'm going to re-roll that with a die, please. Or a domain die, yeah. Jesus fuck. 14.
It's hard to catch a read on why exactly, but her whole demeanor has shifted a little bit, and she's kind of looking around, almost as if she's seeing the crowd for the first time. And she kind of takes the mug, finishes it, and takes the shot glass that had the shot of rum in it, and she just turns it over and says, "I'll come find you when I have more information." She takes a couple steps away, and then she stops, looks back at you, and you see her shoulders and her guard drop just the briefest amount as she looks at you and says, "Thank you," and very quickly turns and disappears into the crowd, leaving you alone with your bottle of rum.
And I think Velynia just sits like Strider for a couple hours and just like kind of sits where Shada was sitting, like changes her seat so she has her back against the wall and just kind of is people watching and slowly sipping some rum.
Anybody else have anything in particular they would like to do tonight?
Yeah, I think at one point, probably shortly after Clarissa had just disappeared, and Icselo is probably maybe still outside, watching like them walk away, and Natalin would come up to him, just kind of stand kind of beside him, hands behind. Deputy Tomasa, I'm really sorry if all the things you have to do now because of us is putting a strain on your relationship with your daughter.
I always have work to do. It doesn't matter what we do. Whether it's kind of like looks at the scene. Don't worry about it.
I can't help but think that some of this might have been my fault.
What makes you say that?
I had a premonition this afternoon. I did not give it the importance that I should have, I believe. Or we would have been more prepared, I think. I didn't believe it, really, if I'm honest.
Well, I suppose that's the funny thing about premonitions.
I feel like for some reason I brought that upon us tonight.
No, that wasn't you. I can assure you that that was not you.
But, and I think, yes, she pulls out the book she had been writing in and flips it to the page that is got the hoof print burnt into it. And where the words where she's written in her own writing so that they didn't disappear about the he walks by moonlight where angels will not, sorry. The roofs burn where he lands. I was warned, and I ignored it.
Isn't a warning, you were just simply shown something out of context. What can you tell me of this premonition?
I saw a shadow fly through well, that's the thing. I didn't really see it. Nor that I knew it was there. And it flew overhead, and then these words just burned into the page that I was on, and the hoof print appeared. I don't really remember much more than that. But I almost hurt Bryn because of it.
He is safe. He did not get hurt. And like you said, you do not remember much. I cannot put the fault on your shoulders, Natalin. I cannot.
But if I had been quicker, if I had come here earlier, if I had...
But if I had brought my weapons, if I had decided to wear my... We can't play these games. And then I like tap the book. We have work to do. We cannot play these games.
She kind of just nods and looks down.
Tell me if anything like this happens again.
And at that, she kind of looks up to you. I think this is probably the first time she meets your eyes, really. And she's like, you can see that the look, oh, I did do something wrong kind of thing. I will.
We'll get to the bottom of this. Whatever that may be.
I'm just glad all the children are okay.
His mouth is like a firm line, and he just kind of nods.
I think she just nods back, and then I think at that point she would just turn to go back, leaving you there.
I stand silhouette on the side of the road.
Cool. Oh, cool.
As you stand silhouette on the side of the road, the moon, which grows closer to full, we see where you stand outside of this inn, somewhere illuminated in the distance, we see a humanoid shadow move across 3 rooftops several blocks away and then disappear. That night, Velynia and Lumi You
Dude, it's happening. It's happening. Bye.
have beautiful dreams.
Awesome.
That's it. Just kidding.
Okay. It's fine. It's all right.
I actually would like Lumi. We're going to start with you. I want you to tell me, in the context of a beautiful dream, what is a type of place that would be like a dream location for Lumi?
It's sunset, and she's at the beach of Sandpoint, on one of the little outcroppings on the sandbar, in the grass, where the grass meets the sand. And it's quiet, and she's here, and it's tranquil. And it's sublime seeing the sun, so bright, so beautiful, dipping and kissing the horizon.
Sorry, did you say it was sunset or sunrise?
Sunset.
Sunset. Perfect. As you sit there, it's one of those things in the dream you don't remember arriving. You feel as though you're just there. Maybe you've been here for a few hours, maybe you've been here for a few hundred years. You look out at this sky that it doesn't even look like a sky so much as it looks like a living canvas painted across the heavens. You hear the wind blowing across the grass and the sands with that sort of hush sound. And as the wind continues to blow, you hear this hushing sound that seems to grow. And you feel the wind as it changes. It's not blowing at your back. It's all around you, lightly buffeting you, as the hushing becomes the soft, gentle fluttering of millions of wings. Millions of butterflies, shimmering, weightless, each one of them almost looking as if they've detached themselves from this canvas of sky. As they fly around you, their wings leave trails of silver sparks that, as the butterflies swirl around you, these sparks seem to surround you. A single butterfly lands on your hand, gently, as you are surrounded in this gentle cyclone of monarch butterflies. And you hear a voice say, "Do not be afraid." The voice sounds kind, warm, patient, older than the oldest memory. A voice that you're hearing perhaps for the first time, but feels as familiar as your own voice or Father Xanthus's. Desna's voice feels like every happy thought, every moment that you've ever dreamed of, all intertwined together into this single voice. As the butterflies swirl around you, the shifting changes, and they coalesce into a living, fluttering raiment of the goddess herself that stands before you.
Wow.
You find it difficult to fix your gaze on Desna. The movement of all of the butterflies, it's almost as if her form itself is constantly shifting in motion. She says again, "Do not be afraid. Your path is bending, is turning and twisting. Not away from who you are, but towards who you are meant to become. Do you say anything in this dream to this vision of Desna?"
And I think she does. She asks Desna a question. And who is that to be?
She laughs a gentle laugh. It sounds like summer rains. It sounds like wind chimes. It sounds like the fluttering of an infinite number of butterflies. I would not take from you the joy of discovery. You fear choosing wrong. But remember, every dreamer walks in darkness. Every step you take in courage becomes light. She reaches out and holds out a finger, and the butterfly that had alighted on your hand flutters over to her. She holds it up and she whispers something to the butterfly. And then she releases it, and the butterfly flutters around and lands on the back of your hand. And you feel a warm, tingling sensation as the butterfly turns into those silver sparks and settles into the scales on the back of your hand, creating a patch of scales that have the shimmering colors of Desna. And some of the scales seem to have a silver outline, very faintly that of a butterfly. She looks down at you and says one more time, Do not be afraid, for I am with you every step of your journey. The fluttering of the butterflies dissipates. They turn, each butterfly turns into a star. As suddenly the sky is now night. And you see in the midst of all of these stars, the constellation for Desna, shining brightest among them all. Your dream is absolutely peaceful and restless. For the rest of the, or your sleep, sorry, is absolutely peaceful and restful. I said restless. I'm like, why are you confused? Because my words are confusing. For the rest of the night.
Peaceful and terrible
yes.
for the rest of the night. Sorry.
Across the night sky of Sandpoint, briefly illuminated by the moon, we see a single monarch butterfly fluttering across town. It flutters through a partially opened window in Vashti's place.
God.
But Velynia, you do not see this butterfly because you are
I imagine
asleep.
it like lands on Velynia and like in her sleep she like shoos it away.
Well, I imagine Velynia is lying in bed, 1 foot on the floor, a now empty bottle of rum clutched in your hand.
Absolutely not. I'm sorry to not yes and you, but Velynia is responsible. She doesn't get drunk for the sake of she might get fucking killed. So she's a little nervous about this watcher, and she's not getting absolutely blotto. But she has had a couple drinks. She's gonna sleep well.
The butterfly does land on you, though. And, you, in your sleep, you do make a brush at it. Something shifts. And what was a dreamless night, filled with shadow, there's a sudden small burst of color and light.
Oh.
And then another.
Oh, jeez.
As you step out of shadow and realize that with each footfall, silent and soft, the shadow is giving way to starlight. As you take more steps, the shadow begins to dissipate. And you are standing, picture a super wide angle shot of something like the Great Salt Flats of Utah.
Shit.
With just a little bit of moisture across the top. Brilliant night sky. And reflected below your feet is the same night sky. And you are but a tiny shadow against the vastness of all of that sky. As you take a step, that reflection shimmers beneath you like a midnight sea. All of those colors that you've seen represented in stained glass and murals of Desna. Blues, purples, silver. So bright it almost hurts your eyes. Every step you take, the ripples slowly move out and away from you into the horizon, rippling across the world.
I think Velynia is just kind of like looking around. Like, this is obviously like, I don't think Velynia dreams. Like, hardly ever. And so just this experience in and of itself is she's very calm in this and feels against all logic, feels very safe. And is just kind of like looking around at this beauty and wonder, and is awestricken.
As you watch, there's movement in the sky. The heavens themselves part like a curtain. Making way for the only thing that the very night sky would part for. A figure who steps forward. Massive wings like a butterfly stretched out behind her. Her wings themselves like scattered constellations. They unfurl, seeming to fold and blend into the sky, almost into infinity. She doesn't look the way you've heard about her in stories. Her shape seems to kind of almost flicker and shift.
I think Velynia's scared. Like, Velynia doesn't... She sees this all of the like safety she felt a second ago. She's like, this is too grandiose. She's too powerful. And Velynia senses that and is not comforted by it. In fact, exactly the opposite.
She tilts her head towards you. Not a tilt of curiosity, but a tilt of recognition. Almost like she's acknowledging you. As she speaks, the night sky seems to twinkle as if her voice is reverberating across the infinite space. Velynia. Your name rings out like a bell rung underwater.
And it's like, yeah, surrounding me, and I like I said, Velynia is scared. I don't think she responds. She does like look wide-eyed at this being.
You keep walking towards the wrong questions. You are pulled by threads you do not see. Threads woven long before you opened your eyes to this world. She takes a step towards you, and then another. With each step she takes, 1,000 new constellations form beneath her feet. The constellations that seem to sort of fade as she passes by. She raises a hand, and as she does so, silver light is dripping from her fingers, almost like dew.
Mm-hmm.
She reaches down. She doesn't touch you, but she holds her finger above your forehead, and a single drop of silvery dew drips onto your forehead. The star sea beneath your feet splits open, and you see flashes. Flashes of a blade as black as the darkest night, piercing the flesh of your hand. You see other hands, seeming almost to lash out of darkness. Hands that push you down, hands that punch you, feet that kick you. And you see the road that led you to this place. and multiple roads that lead out of this place that seem to all loop back into the shadow. And as these images are flashing and you're seeing these flashes of dark things that have happened in the shadows of your past. And then a single hand reaches through all of the other hands. And this hand does not strike you. It instead turns and offers itself to you. You keep trying to choose between paths, but you are forgetting that you are a path.
And I think Velynia is kind of like, at first she's kind of listening like numbly. This has all been like a lot. And then she kind of like shakes her head and she just, God damn it. I'm sorry. She just kind of is like, she shakes her head and she's just like, that can't be. I'm not important. I'm just a piece. I'm just a cog in the clockwork. I'm not. And I kind of like look at her and her grandiosity. And she would just shake her head and just say, I'm small. I can't be a path in myself.
You are only as small as you see yourself. See yourself as others might see you. And this time she does touch you on the forehead. And all the shadows disappear. And there's almost like a hyperspace pushing through these constellations and all of the space surrounding above and in the reflections below, and you are no longer in this wide shot, a minuscule shadow, but you are now filling up the full frame of the vision of your dream, and the starlight illuminates you. You are a path. Your future is not something that can be followed. It is what you make. I hope that your eyes will be open to your own possibilities. And she reaches out and she makes a motion to draw her fingers down, closing your eyelids. And as she does that, everything goes dark, but not completely dark. You still see the faint glow of light behind your closed eyelids and sense the movement. And you feel a gentle, soft brush against your cheek. Your eyelids flutter open.
Oh.
And you see a monarch butterfly fly away from you.
Yes!
And towards the open window. And that's where we're going to take our break.
Let's fucking go, dude. Let's go. I'm seeing the butterflies again, fishes. It's happening. Yes.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take about a 10-minute break, and then we're going to give somebody else a turn. It's a new day.
Boy.
We'll be back in a few minutes. Dawn breaks brightly across Sandpoint. A partially cloudy, but otherwise blue skies. Well, the beginnings of blue skies as the sun rises over town. casting bright light and good cheer across the town that maybe doesn't realize just how doomed it is. At least not in these moments. It's not exactly like we're not coming in right at sunrise, but it's early enough in the morning that the night before, Kaeryn and Millie, along with a little bit of help from the Trennels, you were able to clean up the mess in the White Deer. And Kaeryn is insisting that you open for business as usual. The quickest way to make sure that rumors don't spread is to erase any sign that anything was wrong. Other than the fact that the windows still remain broken. But Kaeryn again insists, it's a beautiful day. Let the warm air in. It's a place we could do with some fresh air.
It's a real glass half full kind of attitude, Gary.
So,
God bless him.
it's worth noting that with every proclamation that seems to hint towards having a positive outlook, Kaeryn wrings his hands and kind of looks around nervously, almost as if he's expecting more cultists to burst through at any moment. Millie, what are you doing in the White Deer this morning?
I guess she would be preparing for preparing the food for the morning and lunch services. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice.
Later on she will, she would maybe ask Kaeryn, because he was around during the late unpleasantness, right?
Mm-hmm.
She would ask, like, Kaeryn, you were around during all that unpleasantness 17 years ago. Was there a lot of cultist activity back then? During all of that?
It was mostly goblins, and well, there were the giants and the dragon and the fires. You know, I think there were enough bigger things going on that nobody was really concerned about cultists. More about not one, but two serial murderers. You kind of get the sense why they called it the Great Unpleasantness, you know? But I do know that around that time, you know, they weren't really cultists. There was just a group of kids that were kind of a gang, I guess, that would cause trouble and get up to no good. And there was a guy that seemed to kind of be in charge of all of them, though if you ask me, he seemed a bit too old to be hanging out with a bunch of teenagers. But they wouldn't call them a cult. They might have called themselves a cult, but it was more like a gang name or something, I guess. Ain't heard much about them after. Like I said, we've had enough things come through this town to worry about gangs or cults, at least until last night.
Well, that doesn't give me much of a starting point. Well, that's all right. Thank you so much, dear. Would you like me to ask in town about windows?
No, I'll take care of that. You don't need to worry about that.
Okay, and then Millie goes about her business, and then probably after the breakfast service.
Well, during breakfast, there's something that's going to happen.
Oh,
Ooh, something that's going to happen.
Probably not long after Kaeryn turns to go back to the kitchen. The door jingles yet again. There's probably a dozen or so people in here, and nobody seems any wiser that anything untoward happened last night. At least not outwardly. You don't see any signs of concern. But you do hear after this jingle, you hear a fellow call out your name. Oh, Miss Millie, it is a pleasure to meet you in a brand new day.
Yes, dude. I love him.
why, Mr. Six?
You do not need to call me Mister. Just Six will do.
All right, just Six then. What a pleasure. I was actually going to come a-calling later. I hear that you're, I don't know how she heard. I hear that your store's
He told
opening
you.
up today.
I
Okay,
think he
good.
told you.
Thank you.
Yes. A little later this morning, I will be opening the Cat's Meow. But, well, of course, I had no way of knowing that you would grace my store with your presence on its grand opening. I actually came here today not only for your breakfast, but I have something for you.
Oh. Well, oh my. And Millie's wiping flour off on her apron, as she do.
I am sometimes very absent-minded. I get a little too, well, when matters of food and drink and entertainment are at hand, I get a little forgetful sometimes. I had a merchant come into town yesterday who brought me some of the supplies I needed for today's grand opening, and the merchant had with him some letters that needed to be delivered, which I turned over to the town hall for disbursement, but I said I would deliver this one myself since I had already made your acquaintance. Or I was planning to make your acquaintance at that time, but now, here we are. And he sort of, looking like Peter Falk in Princess Bride,
Dumbo?
patting...
Oh, Princess Bride.
Where'd you... here it is. And he pulls out a piece of parchment that's been folded over a couple times and sealed with wax. And it has your name and Sandpoint, the white deer, written on it in a handwriting that you recognize immediately as belonging to your daughter.
Oh.
Oh boy.
I am told this came to you by way of Magnamar.
Oh my. Why, yes, it looks like it's correspondence from my daughter. How thoughtful.
Oh.
Well, I'd like to say how thoughtful, but since it's my daughter, odds are this isn't great news.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't mean to pry, but that sounds... I am curious as to why you are here in Sandpoint and your daughter is somewhere that you are not, that she would be writing to you a letter. Surely you are not old enough to have adult children.
Oh, such a flatterer. No, don't worry. My children are grown. They're off on adventures of their own. But we do
How
correspond
exciting.
from time to time via a friend in Magnamar, which is where we're from.
Ah, delightful. Well, then I suppose I am hopeful that this letter contains good tidings and that I am the bearer of such good tidings, at least insofar as I brought you the letter, not that I had anything to do with the writing of it or anything. Just that I want to, if it brings a smile to your face, I just want to have been a part of that, I guess.
Well, I thank you so much.
Well,
Did you get a biscuit?
I was actually hoping to get a biscuit and perhaps some eggs and sausage and bacon and some of those fluffy battered cakes that you make, the pancakes.
You want the whole platter, it seems.
Yes,
I've got
in Absalom they have a wonderful place where they serve a little bit of everything. They call it a Grand Slam. I don't know what that means.
What an odd choice of words. Well, here we call it the full platter.
Oh, a full platter sounds delightful. I will take a seat and will of course have would like a glass of warm milk.
Of course. Oh, and as Millie starts going into the kitchen, she pops her head back out. How do you want your eggs?
Ooh.
Gotta ask. You can't just assume.
Yeah, no. I think Six is a sunny side up kind of guy.
I was thinking the same thing.
Raw, he's like eat them like a fox does, you know?
I was see that's what I was debating was
he's a
between
cat.
sunny side up and would it be weird to say that I want them still in the shell?
Yes.
No. Yeah, he's definitely sunny side up. Crispy bacon. Light toast. Six
So-
basically wants my breakfast.
So Millie goes in to prepare it, but what is it? After she puts the eggs on, she cracks open the letter. What does the letter say, Jacob?
Oh yeah.
I wish I had a voice changer and could turn on like a 20-year-old woman's voice, but
Shit.
hi, Mom.
She is, what is it? Just so you know, channel Lori from 70s show.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm not going to do that.
I'm not doing that, but yes.
Hi,
I have a
Mom.
picture.
I hope things in Sandpoint are calm, or at least as calm as Sandpoint ever gets. I know you're busy, but I really need your advice about something, and I'm not really sure who else to talk to. Please don't worry too much. I know you will anyway, but I promise I'm safe. And so is Monty. Mostly. Probably. Actually, I'm writing about Monty. You know how he and I had been planning for months to start adventuring together? Not anything grand or dangerous, just small jobs, traveling a little, figuring things out side by side, like we always have. We'd have been saving, planning routes, even arguing about what to call ourselves. It felt like something ours. He seemed most excited about it. He wanted us to be closer. Well, then out of nowhere, he tells me he's joined up with another group, says it's just kind of happened, and maybe it's better if we just try our own things for once. Mom, that's not Monty. He's never once in his life wanted to do anything on his own. Not since we were kids, running around the docks, playing, and even when he pretended he didn't need me or like me, he always came back later asking if I wanted to come along anyway. But it's the group he's with. I'm not sure they're good for him, even though they seem to have some connections to Sandpoint. The man calling the shots is Caleb Valdemar. Yes, of those Valdemars. Monty insists Caleb is a visionary, in quotes. But from everything I gather, he's more like a lightning rod for trouble who thinks confidence is the same thing as competence. Monty seems dazzled by him, which scares me. And then you're really going to love this part. Adamar Scarnetti is part of the group. I know. I can already hear the noise you just made. Apparently he and Caleb are thick as thieves. Bonnie thinks that makes them connected. I think that makes them dangerous. There's also Erica Averton, who seems the least questionable of the bunch. But she's still traveling with them, so that tells you something. Sharp as a blade, that one, but if she has any sense, she's hiding it behind sarcasm. And Churtis. Well, Monty described him as solid. I think he meant it as a compliment, but when I met him, he looked like a bear who'd lost a wrestling match with a woodpile. He barely spoke more than a grunt. I don't know what his deal is, but he's not the kind of person Monty would normally associate with. I can't shake this feeling that they're pulling him along into something dangerous, or at least something he isn't ready for. And I can't shake the feeling that him pushing me away wasn't really his idea. The worst part is, when he told me about going our separate ways, his voice sounded off. Like he was reciting something someone else told him he should say. Like he didn't believe it himself. Mom, what do I do? I don't want to smother him. I know we're grown now and we're supposed to be figuring out our own paths, but the way this happened, the people involved, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like him. He's my brother. And if you tell him I said this, I'll deny it. But I'm scared he's drifting off somewhere that I can't reach and that I'm going to lose him. Please write back soon. I really need your advice. I don't want to lose him. Not literally, not emotionally, not in any way. Love, Maddie. P.S. If he shows up around Sandpoint with this group, please keep an eye on him. Pretend you're not, of course, or he'll sulk, but you know him. He needs someone looking out for him, even if he pretends he doesn't.
Millie takes another glance at the letter, sighs, folds it up, puts it into her apron pocket, and goes, "Oh, that boy. It's either criminals, I hope it's not cultists, and a fucking Scarnetti."
I think there's the sound of one of the little clay jars breaking as you say that. You startle Garrison. I would like you to make me a society roll. And
Tell me this is a lesser Scarnetti. This is like a cousin.
I want to see what you know about these four people that were named.
Well, Jacob, that was a 2 on the die, which freaked out, by the way, in my roller and went all weird and like pixely and like
Oh,
Mac
jeez.
in the 2000s.
Oh God.
Whoa.
I'm going to take a screenshot of this for you, but that's a 10.
You want to let it ride?
I think I'd like to re-roll this, but I got to get the screenshot first.
Okay.
Okay. Because it's hilarious.
So just a note, because this is the second society roll we've had tonight.
Yes.
Something I've actually been doing this all along, but I haven't really been calling it out. When it comes to society rolls or things that are where we're kind of trying to figure out how much you know about a thing, it's not a pass fail. It's the higher you roll, the more
Degrees.
you're gonna
The
know.
more you know.
Yep. So I did use a die. I did re-roll. It's still not super great, but it's better. 16.
Okay,
Hey,
so that'll get you.
respectable.
That'll get you. 16 will get you sort of the what everybody in town knows kind of information. I was actually reminded, because I've done this for years with D&D, and I was actually reminded because Brennan Lee Mulligan is doing this in campaign 4, and was kind of mentioning, hey, if you get this, you'll learn this, this, and this. For me, it's just a range. It's the higher you roll, the more information I'll give you. In this case, sort of the general knowledge about these figures. Churtis, never heard of him. He must be a Magnamar local. Adamar, Caleb Averden, where did it go? Or sorry, Caleb Valdemar. Several years ago, the Valdemars boarded up their mansion in town and moved to Magnamar. Caleb among them. And for the most part, people haven't really been hearing about them. There's rumors that they got into some unsavory business in Valdemar, but it was kind of like once they were gone, nobody really cared that much about them. On the south part of Sandpoint, where all the other manors are, for the wealthy folk, there sits the Valdemar Manor, all boarded up. Adamar Scarnetti is a nobody really knows for sure if he's a nephew or a cousin, or if it's one of those in the Scarnettis where anybody that's not directly part of Titus's family is a cousin kind of thing.
He's definitely like a Scarnetti once removed.
He's a Scarnetti. He also left Sandpoint a few years ago. There were rumors that him and Titus's elderly aunt had been targeted at some point and had almost died in a fire that was set by somebody that had some bone to pick. It's widely assumed that Adamar left town because Titus wanted to get heat off of the family directly, and Adamar seemed to be a focal point of that heat. So it's suspected he did not leave of his own volition. Erica Averton is the daughter of I'm trying to find it now because I've forgotten the name of it. Sandpoint Savory's owner, Alma Averton.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome.
And also daughter to Casp Alverton, the former sheriff who was murdered, the last murder victim of Chopper 17 years ago. Alma,
so what is it? So Millie would have recognized recognized Erica's name.
Yes, you have a more direct relationship with Alma. I believe Alma and you are friends.
Good friends. So
you would know that Alma was not at all happy when Erica took off adventuring, and had probably sought some advice from you, but also was a little hesitant to say too much negative about adventuring because you're also an adventurer, and so yeah, you know a little bit more about
I'm sure
that.
we've talked about our kids over coffee a couple times. So
yeah, and she has lost most contact with Alma. She just knows that she went to Magdamar and she doesn't hear from her. So that's what you learn from that.
And Millie finishes crisping up some bacon and whatnot and brings out Six's platter.
And he thanks you profusely, and he kind of playfully turns to a couple that has their 12-year-old son and 10-year-old daughter with them, and he kind of looks at the kids and he looks at this plate of just all of this food, probably a couple of plates, and the kids kind of look with awe that this one, probably they're looking at awe at the Catman, but
obviously like you do.
He looks over at them and he gives them a wink and he says, "Keep watching and you're going to see something amazing." And he proceeds to eat. And I think the amazing feat is that the next time you come out of the kitchen, he's sitting back, tipping back the glass of warm milk, and the plates are empty in front of him.
Wow.
Anything else in particular you want to do?
not until later. I was gonna go visit the
Gotta do a little
shop.
conspiracy boarding. First.
Well, you can't really go to the shop with the shop owners in your place.
I know. Millie's got some shopping to do. She can do it later.
Okay. Natalin or Lumi, who's got something they want to do this morning?
Lumi also wants to go shopping.
Okay. What kind of shopping do you want to do, Lumi?
So there is a place in town that's Lumi's like, I hope that no one sees me go in here. As she goes to, let me scroll up. I don't remember the name of it here. The Pillbug's Pantry on 100 Tanglefoot Alley, S16. And she was looking for a certain alchemical solution. Because when she woke up in the morning, she was renewed with a sense of vigor, confidence, energy, purpose. And she exclaimed, I know what I'm going to do today. And then that bravado, that confidence, very quickly dwindles and gets sputtered out as she sees the door to the Pillbug's Pantry before her. She wants to. She has to push herself to open this door, and she's got a bit of anxiety about being here.
This place is a secluded shop. In one of the, it sort of sits at the end of Tanglefoot Alley, which is on the backside of where the town hall is. Just walking down this alley is one of those places where there's not really much in the way of businesses, and certainly none whose storefront is in the alley. But there's a lot of, even the daylight, a lot of shade in here, so it's that typical when you see somebody going through the alley in the fantasy show where everybody seems to be sick for some reason. a lot of people are coughing. You almost
Luna's got like her cloak about her head's down, and
Yes.
unfortunately, like her tail is still sticking out the back, and like she's still like walking around on her little claws.
You almost get hit as somebody empties a chamber pot from the second floor, and
Yeah.
you have to dodge out of the way. And
Amazing. I love it.
There's-
Perfect vibe.
there's definitely at least 3 unsavory acts that you witness, or catch a glimpse of as you walk by,
Great.
before you ever get to the entrance to Pillbug's Pantry. And you gather your courage and push your way inside. Inside is a it is a very darkened place. It's illuminated by mostly by candles, but everywhere that a candle is lit, there's some sort of the light is from deep inside a glass jar, or there's some type of glass jar over it, or like it's a shielded lantern. There are no directly open flames in this place, given the amount of alchemical reagents and potions and other things within here. What do you do? Just wander through, or?
She wanders through, kind of looking at all of the little displays, and she's doing this as a sort of save face of like trying to gather her courage and maybe instead have whomsoever is the shop owner be the one that speaks out to her first. She doesn't want to be the one to approach at first because she's a little too scared to. And she just pretends to be some curious customer. But she is here with a purpose.
You mentioned that you were kind of under a cloak. Are you shielding yourself with the cloak, trying to cover your identity a little bit? Go ahead and
she was trying to hide her identity, even though like her tail's sticking out. And
I would like you. I'm going to say make me a stealth check, but at a -2 because you are out of your element.
That is a 4 on the die. Plus 12 would be 16.
Okay, that would be technically a critical fail. There is a man standing behind the counter. There is some sort of crystal-like container on the counter filled with a blue liquid that is illuminated. Wisps of illuminated fumes or steam or smoke, you're not sure, seem to rise out of this and surround the shop owner's face. He stands as not very tall, but a stout man, broad shoulders. He wears a deep blue tunic. He's mostly bald. His eyebrows seem to flare back and blend in with the ring of hair that wildly comes out at the sides. He has a little wisp of hair in the middle that curls up, and he's got his head down and glances up. The light from this chemical illuminating him from underneath as he stares at you, and he grins with a wide, crooked grin. What brings you here, little one?
And I think I'm holding something, and she goes and like tosses it in the air, and like has to like juggle it and catch it, so it doesn't like clatter to the ground.
Make a reflex save.
Oh my god! Yeah, you did this.
Oh, that's gonna be a total of 22.
You do manage to save face.
Oh.
He
just kind of sits there, still grinning at you.
She places this little flask back on the little display case, and she'll turn around and like, hello, and good morning, and she like tiptoes closer to the counter where he's being very ominous. She's like wringing her fingers a little bit and like, well, I'm here for something. And I think of all the people who would have it, I think that you would. And it's something that I had this one time in Magnamar, a little bit over a year ago. And well, I know that the other alchemist shop probably wouldn't supply it, and it's something I'm looking for. And I realize I'm beating around the bush here. You know of those? Well, I'm looking for a certain potion. You drink it, and it makes your mind go all abuzz, and the colors all begin to focus, and things kind of slow down a little bit. I remember it being called like a cognitive mutagen. I was wondering if you had a potion of that in stock. And I'll link you, Jake, what she's looking for. It's this in the moderate form, which is a level 3 item.
I would like you to make an impression.
Okay.
Wow. Your mind becomes clear, but physical matters seem ephemeral.
Make impression is diplomacy, correct?
Yes, that is a diplomacy check.
Cool.
Ooh. Wow.
That's going to be a 20. Total of 20.
He looks at you, and you can see that the more you talk, the more his grin falters. But when you mention, I know the other alchemy shop probably wouldn't have this, you seem to have struck the right chord with him. It doesn't make him any nicer. It just makes him less mean. So, you're looking for something special. Do you have gold?
I do. And she'll actually get a small little bundle of coin in a coin purse, which she's already kind of put in this little coin purse the amount that she thinks it's roughly worth. That's what she bought for it last time when she was in Magdamar. And she'll lift up onto her tiptoes so you can plink, place it on the countertop.
How much gold is in there?
12 gold. 12 gold pieces.
You drop the pouch, and you hear a single clink of coin before his big hand scoops the pouch up.
And she'll eep again.
He kind of holds it in his hand. Feels like it might be a little light. Cognitive mutagen. I've got what you're looking for. It's 15 gold.
15 gold. Well, there's 12 in there. How does 14 sound? And she knows you're supposed to haggle. You're supposed to haggle. And she.
So sweet.
14 gold sounds one less than what I'm asking for.
Well, what you say is true.
Hold on.
14 is pretty.
Try.
And she's gonna try and fluster a little bit of a haggle here, but
try a persuasion, and
which is a diplomacy.
But I'm going to give you a +2 circumstance bonus because you succeeded well on your make an impression.
Well, it's gonna be a 26.
Do you even have 14 gold? You gave me 12. I asked for 15.
Yeah, right here. And she'll produce the 2 more coins.
You see, as you produce 2 more coins, his eyes flick to where you pulled the 2 additional coins from, and you see a scowl across his face as he realizes he might have been able to ask even more if you've got more gold than you were offering in the first place. But then he kind of bites at his lip a little bit. Well, he holds out his hand for the 2 additional coins, and once he has all 14 coins, he will begin to move through the shop. And you hear the clinking of some of glass and the creaking of cupboard doors, and he eventually returns with a small stoppered vial containing this, what looks like, it looks like somebody took almost like a simple syrup and put a little bit of mica powder into it. It seems to have just a little bit of a shimmer to it. and he seems almost annoyed at having to get this for you. But you also notice that as he takes this elixir, this alchemical thing, he reaches under the counter and he takes some brown paper and sort of carefully wraps it up and then places it inside a small scrap of leather cloth and ties it with leather string securely. You suspect that what he's done is equal parts. He doesn't want any damage to come to the glass vial, but also he doesn't want anybody knowing what people are walking out of here with.
When he produced the vial, Lumi's used this recreationally before. Does it look like the same as what she had used in the past? Or is this man pulling a fast one on her?
This looks exactly like you'd expect it to look.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And so she will then thank you, Mr. Sir. Happy doing business with you. And she goes to reach up for the leather bag that is her purchase.
If anybody asks, you didn't get that here.
Oh, of course not.
Unless you want more. Then bring more gold and I'll have more for you. And if you're ever looking for something a little more potent, you know where to come.
And unfortunately, she makes a mental note of this, because this might not be good enough for what she needs.
No.
She will then take that bundle and she'll put it in her little side bag. And as she leaves the shop, she takes a big breath of air, a big deep breath as she exhales and decompresses.
It is not very fresh air
outside.
in this alley.
No, but it's still... and the next place that she's going to is she's going to go by a shop that she hasn't really been to in a while, that she knows is that Curio's shop that I believe that, but she doesn't know that Six is taking it over. But she's going to go there.
The one
as her next destination.
That you would have known as
the Feathered Serpent.
The Feathered
right?
Serpent.
Yeah, that's exactly where she's trying to get to. Yeah.
I think when you arrive at the Feathered Serpent, you find that any signage that had the Feathered Serpent on it is gone. I'm trying to find it on here. I don't remember what number it is. Can I find it?
S44. It's
as
on
soon,
Rum
yeah,
Street.
as soon as you said that, I found it. You find that any signage is completely gone. There is instead a new wooden sign, brilliantly hand painted, hanging from the metal pole that sticks out, that says the cat's meow. And there is a painted wood carving of a Maine Coon cat wearing a large brimmed hat with one paw triumphantly on a what at first looks like a ball of yarn, but when you look closer, it's sitting on a pedestal and it's actually a crystal ball.
Ooh.
And then below, in the window, painted in very fancy letters, it says, "The Cat's Meow Grand Opening, Proprietor, 6 days into summer."
Imagine too, there's probably like a little parchment pamphlet that's been nailed to the door. And she was like grand opening, someday or whatever. And
So
all
cool.
yeah, all of these things about the grand opening and everything, but you do see that on the door there is a sign that says, it doesn't say closed, it says not open ... yet.
That dude. That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
she'll kind of take this in, like, oh, how queer. And she's gonna wait for it to open if it's opening today. She's
Okay.
gonna like, probably because like it's near the river. I think she's probably like sit on some stones or on the on right just at the bridge, dangling her feet over the edge of the bridge, waiting for the cat's meow to open this morning.
All right. Natalin or Icselo?
I could go, sure. So Natalin usually gets up at like, when it's still dark out and goes and does her meditations on the sea, the cliff edge, right? Looking out at the sea. However, this morning, she doesn't do that. In fact, she doesn't get up. And hours pass, and eventually, I think almost like when she wakes up, she's like almost startled because it's so light out, and the sun is streaming in her window, and she realizes that it's a lot later than she expected. And she remembers that she promised Bryn that she would talk to Lanai this morning, and she wakes up in a full panic, grabs like her gear and just kind of rushes. I'm assuming they were sleeping at the White Deer. Was going to rush there to hopefully catch them before they leave this morning, knowing that it is probably a lot later. Well, it's a lot later than she expected to be, having slept so late.
I'm going to say we're going to do a D100 roll.
Okay.
There is normally there would be a 30% chance that they got up early and left. Because you overslept, there's going to be a additional 20% chance. So there's only a 50% chance that let me make sure I'm doing this right. Yes, there's a 50% chance that they're gone instead of a 30% chance. So if you get within the 50% of this number, then they are gone.
I rolled
so you don't want
9.
to okay. So you don't want me to roll within 25 of this number. If I can find my dice. Let me put this away, and here we go.
Oh no!
Oh my god.
So, yeah, I think realizing that they've already left, Natalin's face goes completely white, and we see her once again leave town running to catch someone. So she's gonna go after them.
Okay. Are you literally running and on foot?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've got to check something. Because I don't know if I have it on here. Travel speeds. I know I looked this up at one point. I'm going to say, given where they live, and that it's basically 2 hours later than you would have gotten up, and they could have left 2-3 hours earlier. You don't know. They would have made it home. So was your intention to run all the way to the Trennel farm?
Absolutely. I promised Bryn that I would talk to Lanai, and I'm going to talk to Lanai.
Natalin is sprinting.
I
like
want
5 miles.
you to make me an athletics check.
Bro, your cardio is through the roof. I'm so proud of you. Get it.
Oh, that's a not bad roll. I rolled a 16 on the die for a total of 23.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah, so you basically settle in for the long distance. Well, it's not really long distance. It's only a couple miles. So you actually can turn up the heat a little bit. And you train all the time. I'm gonna say that as you arrive, you see the family wagon is parked in the yard in front of the house. The horse hasn't even been unhitched yet. The wagon hasn't been unloaded, and you see Lanai and damn it,
Marilla? Bryn.
Marilla's the
Morella. That's why I hadn't brought up my Trennel farm stuff. I wasn't expecting anybody to go out to the farm, but
Yeah.
Morella, yes. And for whatever reason, I didn't hear Morella. I just heard Mo
Sorry.
when you said it, and then you went Bryn.
I will use better diction in the future.
So you see Lanai and Morella are embracing on the front porch, and it looks like Morella, who is the taller of the two, is sort of almost looks like she's comforting Lanai, but you don't see any of the children anywhere. And this is sort of as you run up to the front gate and sort of through up into the yard. How do you approach?
I probably, seeing that they're embracing, I probably stand a bit away, probably maybe at the back of the wagon that's there. I'm using it to kind of lean against as I'm trying to catch my breath because I have just run this way, so I'm out of breath. I'm trying to gather my composure, trying to remember what it was I was going to say. I mean, I had hours to think about it as I was running here, but obviously that wasn't the focus. The focus was just get there. And then I see them and I'm like, catch my breath, and I wait maybe until they stop embracing, and then I'm like, excuse me, Miss Lanai?
It takes a moment. You see Morella sees you, and then Lanai releases out of the embrace, still keeping an arm around her wife. But you see that she's been crying, and she looks at you, and you see her sort of swallow, and she takes a moment before she says, "What do you want?"
I am so sorry to come uninvited to your home so early in the morning. I had hoped to catch you before you left, but and she looks down at the ground and she's very sheep. I slept in. I just wanted to talk to you about Bryn. And his mentorship, and that I hoped you'd let him continue with it. she doesn't say anything, Natalin would kind of like awkwardly like move a little bit. I think it's very important that he learns to control it as soon as possible.
Morella speaks up.
It could be.
I heard about what happened last night. And I heard that Bryn and my other boys were almost taken by these cultists that were there because of you.
I think with every word that she's saying, Natalin's frame is getting like smaller and smaller as the guilt and the words are like kind of washing over her.
Bryn was almost
Yes,
taken
ma'am.
last night. And you're advocating
Yes.
that he should still be allowed to go train with a stranger in a town where apparently cultists can just come uninvited into a private party and nearly abscond with other people's children.
I think it's more important than ever that he does, so he can learn to control his powers, to use them to be able to defend himself. And really, the woman that would be mentoring him, she could help keep him safe.
Do you really
All
believe
the
that?
places. I do.
Do you really believe that this mysterious witch in the woods is going to teach Bryn how to control this? She looks to Lanai. What do you call it? Wild song? And you think that's he's going to be able to understand that, and it's going to make him stronger and better able to defend himself?
Yes.
The door to the porch opens, and Alice walks out holding Cluck Norris tightly, almost squeezing the poor chicken. And he just sort of sits down on the steps. Tavi comes out behind him and just sort of stands there behind him looking at you. Lanai looks down at the two boys, and you see she's not sobbing anymore, but you can see the tears are flowing steadily as Morella, not walking with any sort of stick or cane, but heavily favoring that leg that's still bandaged. But she steps down the steps and crosses over to you. I'm choosing to believe what you say. Well, it's not like we've had much say in the matter. When Lanai and the boys woke up this morning, Bryn was already gone. He had left a note, and he had already headed over to your witch in the woods. Lanai and I always agreed, and we raise our boys to believe, that when they are old enough, their path is their own to forge. Do you have any idea how hard it was for Lanai to leave knowing that Bryn had left? Feeling he had to leave under the cover of early morning? But to still honor how we brought up our boys. So I'm choosing to believe what you've said. You've done right by my family so far. But I need you to do one favor for me. You and your friends, stay away from us for a little bit. Not permanently. It's been a wild couple of days. And we'd like to have some time to process everything by ourselves. You give us a few days. And anytime after that you return, you will return to a warm hearth. I hope you can understand.
Natalin just nods, and I am so sorry to bother you, and I will make my way now. And as she turns to go, I think she just stops like after a couple of footfalls, and then she looks back. And thank you.
She extends her hand out to you to shake.
Natalin looks at the hand and looks at her own, knowing what might happen, or will happen, as has happened. And I don't think she grabs the hand because she doesn't want to hurt this woman, even if it's just like a zap, right? But instead, she does a full bow instead.
Morella, when you bow, kind of pulls her hand back and then kind of awkwardly returns the bow to you, not nearly as full and not nearly as proficient, but she attempts the bow, and without another word, she just gives you a curt nod, and she turns back to her family.
And I think Natalin holds the bow for even longer, waits for Morella to have turned and walked away a little bit before she rights herself and walks back to town. Slowly.
With
we're not running.
With this music as you're walking away, I just picture sad Bruce Banner,
I swear to God, I was thinking the
sad Hulk music. And you just walk slowly down the road that you would run. But we're going to, the camera's going to rush past you, leaving you alone on these roads in the edge of the hinterlands, as we finish up by finding out what Icselo is up to on this new day. Anything in particular, Icselo?
I think it was discussed that I am currently sleeping in the barracks. So I think my morning is like getting some exercise and avoiding the judgmental evaluations of my peers is I was just involved in like a multi-homicide event.
In a big couple of days.
So I think it was established that you normally had, prior to the special assignment, you had worked the night shift under Deputy Brennickharth. I don't know if you have the rest of your shift in front of you. It could be anybody on your shift or anybody from one of the other shifts. Who of the other members of the guard would you consider is probably your friend?
I'm gonna be so honest with you, I forgot where this link is.
That's fine. That's fine. I think it's actually, I dropped it in a DM in Discord. I sent you a screenshot of it.
There we go. I think for the most part, God, why am I the Jon Snow of this? Everybody, I think I get along well with everybody, but there's a distance between me and them for whatever reason. What was your question again?
Who would you consider, either on your shift or any shift for that matter, a member of the town watch that you would consider a friend?
I'm gonna say, is it Syl Ember?
Yes.
Specifically because we have like that classic, we're best friends because we don't say anything when we are together. It's like, well, worked another shift with Ember last night, and it was 8 hours of nothing. We didn't say a single word.
Syl is, I think Syl is a taller than average, lithe, athletic build. Syl Ember is a mask woman, if that makes sense. So leans very heavily into like wearing well, as it's stated here, that is so weird. As it's stated here, is like favors a long dark cloak. Very mysterious, like you said. The two of you don't talk very often. Mostly, there's probably been maybe one or two times where one or the others had to get something off their chest, and you know that you can do so without judgment or comment, for that matter. And you can just as easily pass an entire guard shift without speaking to one another and be totally fine with it. The rumor is that Syl Ember may have previously been a thief. She's certainly very good at getting through doors that you could have swore were locked a few moments ago. I think as you're going about your routine, getting ready and everything, Syl gets off shift and actually probably as you're I'm picturing that like you've come out of the department gym. You know, you're in a state of half dress. You've got your towel, maybe, you know, I know this is in a modern setting, but I'm picturing like you just got out of the shower in the locker room kind of thing. And Syl's just standing there, and she's got her ring of keys that she's always fidgeting with, and just kind of doing that where you spin it on your finger and then catch it. And I think, you know, this is the only tell that Syl has that says, I need to talk to you about something.
With that being the case, I think it's just how would I say that? Does it need to be private?
Syl kind of looks around and just pushes with her shoulder blades off of the wall she's leaning against and just goes like this. And then turns and actually heads towards the exit of the building.
I imagine I like throw my shirt on to finish getting dressed, and I look and I grab my sword. I don't think I have any of my other armor on, but given what happened yesterday, I'm gonna grab my sword.
Sure.
And I don't necessarily like buckle it on, but I'm carrying it, and I'm gonna follow her out the door.
You follow her out the door, and she actually leads sort of up Junker's Way and towards Junker's Beach. Not necessarily all the way to the beach, but just kind of just on the edge of town, away from crowds. And kind of stops, looking out over everything, still sort of spinning her keys. I'm not supposed to ask you this, but if you're okay telling me, what's this special assignment Hemlock has you on? It seems unusual that you're suddenly plucked off of the Night Watch and put under some special job that apparently involves murdering cultists.
I don't necessarily want to say the two things were specifically related, but the more I investigate, it seems they are. You know, Ember, my favorite part about you is I don't know anything about you. And that's fine. But there are aspects of myself that I have chose to keep private for a very long time, for very specific reasons, and it just so happens that coincidentally, through the power of serendipity, I guess, that those little devils from my past are showing up to coincide with this special assignment, which, to be honest, in itself isn't all that special. I'm tasked with protecting the city peace. We've got a group of adventurers that are going into the pit. Hemlock seems to think that they need some supervision.
It's not Hemlock. Hemlock doesn't care about these adventurers. He only cares about his reputation. You know who it is that cares about the adventurers and what they're doing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you aware that Hemlock is... And this time she does actually kind of look, just to double check that nobody's around. You are aware who is the puppet master wielding the strings that control Hemlock. He's Titus Scarnetti.
For such a little man, he seems to reach real far.
Well, this whole thing seems to have less to do with these adventures and more to do with appeasing Scarnetti because of what he has planned. And I don't know if you know that asshole son of his, Con Scarnetti, is trying to smear your friend's reputation around this town. But he's having about as much success as if he were carving rumors into the privy stall walls.
Yeah. Loser.
Well, Kaeryn was never the smartest.
He's a minor irritation at best. It's Titus. But I know you know better than anybody else how Titus is.
Yeah, I flew too close on wax wings a time or two.
Well, I like to keep my ear to the ground. I blend into the background and people say things and they forget that I am around. It works to my advantage. It seems to me that Sheriff Hemlock is planning to make a play for mayor. But it doesn't seem like it's his idea. It seems like he wants to... Well, this seems like something that Titus Scarnetti has come up with to install Hemlock as mayor so he can have more control over what happens in this town.
Plan on doing anything with that information? Just gonna see how this all plays out.
Well, I thought I was doing something by telling my best friend, who we have shared so many secrets over so many nights together. And you catch a glimpse of a wry smile that she's obviously being very sarcastic.
I remove a package of this is probably like a flavored licorice or something in like a wax paper inside of a bag, and I slap it to I don't want to say her chest, but into her arms. That's for you. I don't know if I would associate with me too much, at least for a little while, maybe a long while. I'm a big tree falling in a forest of a lot of things. I wouldn't want to get caught underneath me as I come down.
She takes this package of flavored licorice and kind of looks inside, and I think she pulls a piece of it out and kind of sticks it in almost like almost like a cigar, just tucks it in, hanging out of her mouth. And if I was concerned about you taking me down with you, I would never have asked you to come speak with me. I know that you were once, by marriage, a member of the Scarnettis. I know that you have more insight than perhaps anybody in this town, while simultaneously having more common sense than many in this town. To take this information that I've given you and at least use it to have some sort of caution when dealing with Hemlock. Know that whatever assignment he has placed you on, he's not done so with your best interests in mind, or even the town's best interests. It's purely a selfish thing that he is doing. I am volunteering to keep my eyes open for you, and my ears.
As she says that, I kind of like try to silence her, and I touch the package of candy, like, with intent. These warm summer nights get real hard to stay awake when you're on patrol. A little sweet should perk you up here and there. And when I poke it, it's not like the crumple of wax paper. It's like of parchment inside the package.
Ooh.
She gives you a knowing look and says, "Well, there's nothing like a bit of licorice to chase away the threat of sleep."
I never liked the stuff.
Well,
Take care of yourself, Ember.
you take care of yourself, Tomasa. Without another word, she turns and walks away. You see her tuck the package into a pocket of the long dark cloak, and keep her hand in that same pocket as she walks away. And I assume if there's something you specifically need me to know, that you will send that to me later.
Yeah, I can do that. It's nothing crazy. It's just more or less like, here are a few things to pay attention to if this is something that you're going to pay attention to.
Okay.
These are things you should be aware of. It wouldn't have been that thorough because I imagine I threw this together in the last hour I've been awake.
Kind of like, almost like you were jotting some notes down, not sure what to do with them, and realizing you've got somebody you can trust.
Yeah.
And so I will say, from a narrative point of view, Ember is, as much as you're willing to, still Ember is somebody that you can trust and is a contact for you to whatever point you want to use her. She has agreed to keep an eye on things. You don't know to what degree she's going to extend her effort, but she's basically a person that you know that if you want to reach out to her at a later time through direct or through otherwise secretive measures, you can do so.
I think there's also like a moment where like the brief montage of me getting ready in the morning is like interspersed with like me slowly jotting these notes down into this piece of paper and putting it into the licorice.
You and I had a conversation about this, and I sent you a couple things about it, but it feels, if you know The Wire, it feels very much like a thing that McNulty would do, where he's in the middle of something and he just quickly kind of grabs a pen and has the thing in his mouth and he jots something down on the first thing he can find, which is his candy package. And then every time he comes back to it, he just jots something else down. And yeah, it's I get it. And I think that as you return, walking back into town, go ahead and make me a perception check.
Rolling dice.
Do it.
thought I was rolling dice. Where's my dice? Perception check. 14.
As you walk back into the movement of people going about their morning business here on the north side of town, you watch where Sill Ember disappears around a corner, and as you turn, you don't notice, you do not see as Lala literally walks right past you.
Bro.
Following behind a wagon. She doesn't even look at you. She just kind of walking along, like she's just looking around and just moving with the morning crowd, barefoot still, wearing that sort of tattered black dress, and oblivious to the world and oblivious to the world's perception of her. We just see as she sort of moves into following this wagon, heading towards the sort of south down the street. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Bro, any appearance of Lala is a good day.
I love her.
In like the last 3 things that it's ended on me, it's like, and here's this person. It's like, dude, should I be nervous? Should I be...
right. Yep.
You should be very afraid.
I am.
Be very
I'm not afraid of these monsters. I'm afraid of this woman in a ripped dress.
Yeah. No, she knows everything. You have secrets. She knows.
So,
I do.
As a reminder, next week will be our last session for the calendar year as we head into the holiday break. I would like you players to think, if you can, let me know. No, fine. If not, no big deal. But if you have specific things you want to do, if you're planning to get together, again, downtime is your deal to do whatever you want. This was obviously a very narrative session, but I had some pieces of information I wanted to give you, and there were some threads that had to be fulfilled, and couple of you went after certain tasks, and we can continue with the downtime, and we'll see where things lead up in our next session next week. So while we're talking about last sessions, Thursday will be our last session of Kids on Bikes for the calendar year, and next week Tuesday will be our next and last session of the calendar year of Sky Metal, which Kids on Bikes, you'll find me and Cari and Tamiko on Thursday, and Sky Metal, you'll find me and Vi and Kaeryn over there for that. So we hope to see you for those things. In the meantime, thank you to everybody. Thank you for the new followers. It looks like we got raided just a little bit ago from It's Cliff Gaming. And I wanted to shout out, because I always like to recognize oh, you know what? Did I miss this one? No, I got that one. No, I did. I missed a tome for you guys.
Yay! I'm glad you realized.
I'm realizing.
A domain.
Dang it! I did. That's the second time I've done tome.
That's been a minute.
I did that last week and nobody caught it. It was when it glitched out. So no, what happened that I missed was that Monty DL resubbed for 64 months.
Damn, Monty.
Towards 7210, 28 months. Scholtens.
That's me.
55 months.
A lot of months.
And Myth and Gears, that was a week ago. Did I call you out for 80 months last week? I don't feel like I did.
That's so
80
many
months.
Kaeryn.
Tamiko, what are you at?
Hey, whoa. I'm saving my die for the
I know.
other game.
Yeah.
They need it more.
82.
Okay.
She's at 82.
Tamiko's one of the. I think you have a founder badge, right?
I do.
That's badass. Good for hell yeah.
I do, and I'm so proud of it that I refuse to get rid of it. I'm a founder on 2 different streams, and on the other stream, I have a custom-made token for the length of time that I've been a subscriber over there, but I can't use it because if I opt to use the custom badge
You're
for that,
lose your founder badge.
I lose my founder badge everywhere.
Can't do it. Can't.
Yeah.
Do it.
Oh.
Yep. Cannot
So, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Tamiko was one of the very first subscribers. So, so thank you to all of you for subscribing, and of course the subs work as domain dice. Thank you to everybody hanging out in chat. I know I've seen a couple of new faces in the chat. Love seeing it. It's Cliff Gaming right back at you. And welcome to MTD. And we hope you find a wonderful and safe place to hang out and meet new friends. So welcome everyone as we head out. If you're interested in what we did tonight, or you want to see some of our other streams, you can catch all of our VODs on youtube.com/mini-terrain-domain. And well, of course, I forgot to mention, while next week is our last live game, throughout the month of December, every Monday in our usual time slot will be a special one-on-one character interlude where I will be running a special session with each of these players one-on-one, so we can learn a little bit more about them. Finally, I did want to say too, if you are somebody who is lurking quietly in the chat, or maybe you're watching with us on the VOD later, know that we appreciate you and hope that you also enjoy our presentations as much as we enjoy playing them. Finally, I want to say a huge thank you. I think we've fallen into this rhythm as players and game master when we have these downtime. You guys all want to do your own thing, and we end up in these like character spotlights through the session when you guys aren't together. And it's a unique way to let you kind of do your own thing while still being in the party dynamic. But don't be afraid to work together as a team while you're in town. You guys can't hang out in public together, you know.
Who wants to hang out with a cop?
Yeah,
But to be hanging out with Lumi when she's doing all of her train spotting
Lumi's
shit.
doing illicit drugs.
You can't hang out with me.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
would be-
Baron would love to be there while you do
Oh,
this.
don't
but
worry about Lumi. Don't worry about her.
Icselo is not the guy.
See,
to
this
call.
exactly is why we've fallen into this five-way party split. Every time you guys get back to town, you're like, we were just underground for like 12 hours together.
Okay.
Listen, I
we
like
need
you
to-
In
guys,
order to
but I
maintain
have
this
to get away from you
friendship,
guys.
we need us time.
Exactly. So with that, I just want to say once again a tremendous thank you to these incredible players. Getting to tell this story. We're using a published module, but we've already very much made it our own. And we have all of these individual stories that are continuing to emerge. You know, this was session 36, and we're barely, you got 7 dooms, y'all, and you only dealt with one of them. So
many dooms.
we've got so much more story to tell, and I can't,
so many dooms.
I can't wait to see how your stories unfold, especially throughout these one-on-ones. So thank you, as always, Vi, Kaeryn, Tamiko, Cari, and Baron, without whom this would just be me talking to myself for a couple hours. With that, we're going to go ahead and end this stream the same way we end every stream. You can say it with me if you want.
Lumi's on the go.
Menargo.